With a WagerTalk one-day power pass, you receive every play from every betting consultant for one full day at the ridiculously discounted price of just $149. What's better than spending the day watching and following a great slate of games? Watching, following, and winning those games. Get every WagerTalk expert and every game they release for that day.
Hey guys, welcome in. Happy Friday here. Can't believe it. June the 25th as it's time for another edition of Pony Pundits powered by WagerTalk.com. And no better way to celebrate the weekend and upcoming stakes races than with these two gentlemen here. The pundits themselves, Marco D'Angelo in the house, as well as Sig. Both can be found, guys, at WagerTalk.com. Up tap for this weekend, we're going to talk a little bit here about the Ohio Derby. We're going to grade 3 race here. I believe just about $500,000, the Ohio Derby at Thistledown. We'll break down all 11 for you and then have a couple of the cards, and we'll show you exactly which way Marco and Sig are rolling. Well, Marco, let me come to you, my friend. What's been going on? How has the week been? And I don't know, any new Baffert news we need to know about?
Well, Joe, it's been a good week for me in sports. We're 5-2 this week so far. Bad news here from Vegas is a Vegas Knights fan. Their season ended last night, so a little bit of a bummer there. But I'm excited about this time of the year. You know, we have that couple week lull after the Triple Crown ends with the Belmont. This is what I like to refer to, Joe, as the second season. This is where the trainers really earn their money because now they got to convince their owners that the horses they had on the Derby Trail really weren't that good. We got to refocus and find where we're going to send our horses for the rest of the summer to make money. And a lot of big stake races. You'll have the Ohio Derby. You'll have the Pennsylvania Derby, West Virginia Derby. They're smaller stakes, but as you can see, that one race they have a year at Thistledowns, they pony up, $500,000, so it's worth it. And you'll see a lot of familiar faces make the step down in class to race in these races. And the other beauty of it is, Joe, is we'll find horses that maybe were late bloomers that we didn't see on the Derby Trail, but all of a sudden are gaining momentum, and they're going to take their shot and take a swing at $500,000 and some interesting horses in this race.
Certainly is, Marco and Sig. A lot of very familiar names in this Ohio Derby. How you been, my friend? Last time we spoke, you're continuing to roll out those racing reports and continuing to cash tickets. What else has been going on for you, man?
Just like Marco said, we'll get through this little lull here between the Belmont Stakes, and we have the Travers coming up at Saratoga opening in a few weeks, Del Mar opening in a few weeks. I think my colleague Marco is planning a trip down there opening weekend. A little jealous of him, but guys got to enjoy life. But other than that, horse news, but the Baffert barn is slowly shrinking. And the news is still out there. We're still waiting on official confirmation that Mandaloon's going to be your Kentucky Derby winner. But, I mean, in everybody's eyes, I think he already is.
Yeah, it's like a bad rash. We just can't get rid of Baffert news, Marco. Just continues to hang around. But I do want to let you guys know, of course, if you head over to WagerTalk.com, you got a great opportunity here to be able to invest with both of these gentlemen this weekend, including Marco, with the opportunity to go ahead and get his 3-day all-access package this weekend. $69. That's right, $69 gets you every play, every sport this weekend, including the ponies. Opportunity here for you guys to hop on board with Marco for just $69. Visit Marco's page at WagerTalk.com. And, of course, Sig and his daily racing reports available 9 a.m. Eastern time every racing day. You guys just head over to Sig's page at WagerTalk. He's got his full lineup, his full card of horses and races that he is on. Pick up that daily racing report 9 a.m. Visit his page at wt.buzz/Sig. All right, guys, let's dive into what we got here for the Ohio Derby. And a lot of these horses, man, these names look real familiar. So do the jockeys, so do the trainers. And Sig, I cannot believe Marco ceded the way to you with the odd horse number 1. So let's go to Promise Keeper, Todd Pletcher, and our old buddy Luis Saez here, 7-2. Morning line on this. Very strange that Marco would cede a 7-2 shot with you, but go ahead. Talk to us about Promise Keeper.
Oh, Joe, Promise Keeper is your morning line favorite at 7-2. But if you take a look at that board you just had up there, guys, 7-2 is not too bad considering the field that we have here. As Marco said in his early analysis, we are going to get into the point of the year where we're going to start seeing these horses that are the late bloomers. And Promise Keeper surely might be one of those here. He's a Todd Pletcher trainee out of Constitution. He's coming off a victory in the Peter Pan at Belmont last month. And he's got a 2-race winning streak going on right now. If you go back three races, though, you see the Tampa Bay Derby there. They did try him on the Derby Trail. He was running well early and then just sort of petered out in that race and ended up finishing 12th in the field. I'm drawing a line through that race. Otherwise, he's got 3 firsts and a 4th in his debut on that card there. I don't think he had enough stamina for that Tampa Bay Derby. Pletcher has been working on that. He has 5 workouts since the Peter Pan. And what I find most interesting about Promise Keeper is that Saez is making the trip from Belmont to Cleveland. I know, why would anybody make a trip to Cleveland? For my friends, Cal Sports, Ralph Michaels, and Brian Leonard, if they're listening. I'm not sure why anybody would go to Cleveland. And you know what the best thing about Cleveland is? Oh, Marco.
It's only a 2.5-hour drive from getting to see 6 Super Bowl trophies.
These guys have been working on that for a while, let me tell you. All right, so listen, Promise Keeper, 7-2, heck of a way to start, like you mentioned there, Sig, Pletcher and Saez. Now, I will reiterate, Marco let himself into number 2. Falcons Fury at 30-1. This could be the fastest breakdown of a horse, Sig, that we've heard on this show yet. So, Marco, give us your thoughts on Falcons Fury.
Okay, I'm going to try to be nice as I can with this one. Guys, this horse back in March was claimed for $5,000. Oh. I've spent more on chicken wings this year than they've spent on this horse, and they're entering it in the Ohio Derby. Well, I guess $5,000 in Ohio is a lot, but guys, this horse has 0 chance in this race. Doesn't have speed figures that'll even start these other horses up. I don't know what they're doing. They have got 2 second-place finishes since they claimed the horse for $5,000, but those were in very minor allowance races. I don't see how this horse gets here. It's an 11-horse field. 8 of the horses could fall down, and he still would run off the ticket. Not using them. Move on.
All right, we're moving on from Falcons Fury. Good Lord. All right, going on to number 3, Sig, back to you. How about Rebel Stakes place getter there, Hosier? I think it was barely beaten out last time at the Sir Barton, but that was on the Preakness undercard. I believe there was a transfer to a new trainer and a new barn here with this horse. Talk to us at 12-1.
Yeah, the aforementioned Bob Baffert did have Hosier in his stable here up until after his last race. They did transfer him to the barn of Rudolph Broussette, who's starting to make a name for himself here in the U.S. He seems to have more success on the turf than he has on the dirt here. But this was one of Baffert's more promising 3-year-olds at the beginning of the year here. Came out, won his second race to break his maiden, and they brought him back in the Rebel, where he did finish second to Barnmay Concert Tour, who was one of the top contenders prior to an injury leading up to the Derby here. Like you said, they bring him back on Preakness Day. He did finish second in the Sir Barton, got nipped at the wire. He had Joe Rosario aboard on him that day. Given the current circumstances surrounding Baffert, though, I'm wary of backing any of Baffert's runners right now, given the barn change, until we see how they perform for the new connections here. The people that own this horse are Mataket Racing, Starlight Racing, and SF Racing, which are big players in the horse racing ownership. and they did pay $625,000 for this horse as a yearling. So there are big expectations for this horse. The fact that he is in this lower class of 3-year-old races later in the summer here tells you he hasn't panned out for them yet. I wouldn't be surprised if later in the year, once the reset gets him figured out, he might have some success here, but I'm not comfortable using him right now here. May use him deep on a few exotic tickets, but I don't expect much from him on Saturday.
All right, not expecting much, but that leads us to number 4, and this is King Fury, Marco, 9-2 morning line on this one. Interesting background here with this horse. Talk to us. What do you think about King Fury's chances?
Well, if you remember, guys, this was a horse that was on the Derby trail. Only raced once this year, but it was an impressive win. Couple notes, did get scratched out of the Derby. This is the horse that had a fever the morning before the Derby. They ended up scratching the horse to be cautious. And that last race, a couple notes about that race. That race came up on a muddy track. So you got to look and say, hey, was that the race that this horse, found himself because he liked the mud and he raced so well? Or was it the equipment change? If you look 2 starts back, this horse was on the front end, setting the pace in the mile, and then ended up fading to 5th. After that start, they made an equipment change, and it's one of my favorite equipment changes, only this time they took them off. They had the blinkers on this horse, took them off in that last start. Get the horse to relax a little and race from behind. Well, he raced giant in that race, come flying, got a good trip. I will admit, there was a fast pace up front. The horse saved ground along the rail, and when he did swing to the outside, he was able to swing clear, never had to check the horse, got one good swooping momentum coming off the turn, and then just made a shambles of the field. I like King Fury. I think he's got a big shot here. Let's see if he races the same way twice without the blinkers. And, of course, if the track comes up wet on Saturday, we know he likes the mud. Let's hope that it wasn't just the mud that turned him around. You'll be hearing me talk about King Fury a little later in the show.
All right, very good there. King Fury, number 4, moves on to number 5, Ethical Judgment, 8-1. Morning line here on Ethical Judgment there. Sig, talk to us. Give me your thoughts with Martin Garcia, Brendan Walsh training.
Ethical Judgment here. He's an honor code colt. They've had him on turf here, but the funny thing is he ran his debut on the turf, finished second, and then his last 3 entrants were on the turf, but he actually got reined off of them, or basically an off track for each of them, and he's finished first, second, and first in those 3 entries. So we know that this horse likes the slop and likes a muddy track here. Like I said, he's my long shot selection in here. I think there's a good chance of rain today and some tonight here in the Cleveland area. So the fact that he's already demonstrated his ability to handle an off track is definitely a positive here. He was a stalker last year in his 2-year-old campaign, but he's shown the desire to be on the front end as a 3-year-old. I don't believe he's quick enough to get out front with the class of horses we have here, but I do expect to see him running late, and I think he has a chance to pick up a part of the exotic tickets here. With the others entered in this field here, I believe his odds are going to be greater than 8-1, and I'll probably play a little bit of pizza money on him as a long shot winner in this field. I don't think he has the ability to win. I mean, I do think he has the ability to win. I don't want to sound contradictory to myself here, but I think there's more class in this field than Ethical Judgment's seen so far in his short career.
All right, number 5, Ethical Judgment. That means we are going to head over to number 6. That is Hello Hot Rod, 15-1 here, Marco. Right up your alley here. Talk to me on what you think about Hello Hot Rod. Francisco Arrieta riding. Talk to me here.
Well, I just want to point out the fact where Sig said that he's just betting a little pizza money. Now, for most people, that's, just a token bet. You haven't seen Sig eat pizza. It's a decent-sized bet, guys. Going here to Hello Hot Rod, you look at this horse, and he's making a big jump in class, and he really hasn't shown that he deserves to make this jump to race in this one. I look at the speed figures on this horse, and, the last two doesn't get him anywhere near the winner's circle. He's going to need a big jump. Now, you started the joke with Jake Arrieta riding this one, and might be as good. No, all kidding aside. Francisco Arrieta is a good young jock. Was racing at the smaller tracks, and now has been making the jump to race on the bigger circuits. And he's finding the going to be a little bit tougher. He's only had 8% win rate over the last 30 days, but he's back to one of those smaller tracks, and we don't have all the big-name jockeys here. So I think he'll do just fine here, but he just doesn't have enough horse to get the job done. The other concern I have with this horse is this is going to be the third different trainer in the last 3 races. Horse just keeps changing barns, and that's never really a good thing for a horse to get acclimated to different barns and different trainers. So I'm going to take a pass here on Hello Hot Rod. We'll find a long shot somewhere later in the card.
Yeah, Jake Arrieta would have walked him. All right, let's check it out. We're moving on to number 7 here, and that being the Reds. And let's see here, the Reds, 6-1. Morning line here on this horse. Give us your thoughts on the Reds.
Look, Joe, I think the morning line odds maker here, was a little too high on the Reds. I don't know if it was an Ohio and a Cincinnati Reds type thing or what going on there. But it took this colt 5 starts to break his maiden. Since then, he's found a little bit of success in Stakes Company. He ran 5th in the Gotham and Aqueduct. He never made an improvement there, but then he returned and he won via disqualification the Tessio at Pimlico after a DQ that exonerated that day. His last race was at the Pennine Ridge at Belmont, and he was passed late by Sainthood, who's one of the horse we talked about on the Derby Trail earlier this year as well. While he is coming in here off a few second-place finishes, I don't believe this colt's going to be a factor in this field. Though the speed figures are improving, I don't think he's fast enough to be a major factor with the other class horses in this field.
All right, let's check it out here, Marco, as we head over to number 8. This is a horse that should be top of mind. You may want to keep me in mind. Talk to me 4-1 here, Mark. We've heard about this horse here on the Derby Trail. What do you think?
Yeah, Joe, this is a horse that, as we like to say, has danced all of the big dances. If you look down this horse's card, nothing but grade 1 and grade 2 stake races. So he is definitely the class of the field. Now, with that said, the concern I have is twofold. One, this is a horse that we know its racing style. Races from behind, is going to be subject to the pace in front of him. The problem is there's really not a lot of speed in this race. So I don't know that he's going to get enough of a pace in front of him to be able to close into it. Now, they are making an equipment change. And yes, we got the blinkers on. Keep me in mind for the first time. Thinking is that that's going to get him a little bit fired up, get him closer to the pace. If you've watched any of these races during the Kentucky Derby Trail, the last horse out of the gate, every start has been Keep Me in Mind. This horse just doesn't break from the gate well and is always spotting the field too much distance. The other concern is because he has raced against all of the best horses and has been getting beat and has been chasing them, at some point, a horse might start to sulk. They get tired of chasing these good horses not to get to the winner's circle. And the horse is 0 for 4 this year, has not hit the board. You look at last year, 4 starts, hit the board in every one of those starts and made just under $400,000. This year in 4 starts has only made $90,000. Not exactly, money to sneeze at, but compared to last year, and you're supposed to be improving from your 2-year-old to 3-year-old season, I think they've placed this horse in too tough of races and have cost themselves money. They should pick up a check in here today. If they get an honest pace, he'll be coming. But I think there's better horses in here. Keep me in mind. Keep him on your ticket so he doesn't run you over, but he's not going to be my key horse.
All right, interesting stuff. Number 8. We'll move on to number 9 here, Sig. How about Proxy? 5-1 morning line on this. 4th, I believe, at the Grade 3 Lexington. And what do you think? Is that Joe Bravo, I believe, on top there? What do you think of Proxy in this one at 5-1?
Yeah, Joe Bravo is aboard on Proxy here at Thistledown on Saturday after John Velasquez rowing his last 3 outings. The biggest thing to note on Proxy is that the blinkers are coming back off. He finished first or second in his first 5 races, and then Velasquez actually recommended to trainer Michael Stidham to add the blinkers, thinking it would give him more focus. He actually finished 4th in both the races with the blinkers on, the Louisiana Derby and the Lexington. The blinkers coming back off, I think, is going to be a positive here. And I think Proxy, both Marco and I agreed that Proxy was a pretty promising 3-year-old on the Derby Trail here. He skipped all 3 of the Triple Crown races following that Lexington performance. I think they're going to have him back on track here, though. I think he's got a good shot at least picking up a part of this here. He's also going to get Lasix again, which was on for both of the races that he won previously in his career. So I think that's going to help, as well as the back class. He was on that Fairgrounds Derby Trail in the Lecomte, the Risen Star, and the Louisiana Derby. We know some of the best horses, including Mandaloon and Hot Rod Charlie, came out of those races, and he was competitive in those fields. So I think he's going to find some class relief here, and I think I would not be surprised if he wins this race here, but I think there are some better options in the field.
All right, very good. That brings us to number 10 here. Masquerade there, Marco, coming off a, 12-length allowance victory at Churchill back on May 1st. What do you think here? 8-1 on the morning line.
Yeah, this is one of those late bloomer horses that we're going to take a look at. Very impressive allowance race at Churchill Downs. We know that the Churchill Downs meet gets better horses because people want to race at Churchill Downs. There in Keeneland's always special. And the way he demolished that field and put up a speed figure, triple-digit Equibase number from him. I got to look at this horse and say, this one's definitely moving in the right direction. We've got to give the horse a shot here. And because of his racing style, he's going to be racing on or near the lead. And as I said, there's really not a lot of speed in this race. So if he takes the next step forward and this horse is near the front or on it, he could actually steal this race or get that big, important jump on the horses that are going to be coming from behind. This is a horse that's only got 5 career starts. We always talk about those horses in that range, between 3 and 5, 6 starts. They still haven't peaked. You can get that big jump. Well, we saw that big jump in his last one. And if you look at the speed figures, this horse has improved in every start. That's what you want to see with those speed figures. I think this horse has a shot. 8-1. You got to use him on the ticket. I'll have him on the backside of the ticket for a price, and I'll throw just a couple with him on top in case he upsets the apple cart, so to speak.
All right, very good. And that leaves us one last entry here, number 11. I am not sure if this horse is related to King Fury, but maybe it's his distant cousin, Channel Fury, here at 20-1. Sig, lot of Furies in this. Talk to me. What do you think at 20-1?
But Joe, I think this was actually planned as a promotion for the new Fast and Furious movie. I think it's the 17th, 18th edition of the movie. But guys, when you go to the window, do not confuse King Fury, who has a shot in here, with Channel Fury that has no shot. Even though this Colts hit the trifecta at every one of his 6 career starts, those starts have come at Thistledown, Mountaineer, and Presque Downs. That's kind of like saying I'm having a business dinner at McDonald's, Carl's Jr., or Jack in the Box. While the local horses always get some attention in these races at the smaller tracks, I am confident that this Colt's outclassed in here. I will not be using him on my tickets. And like I said, don't confuse him with King Fury when you're at the window. Make sure it's King Fury the 4, not Channel Fury the 11.
All right, there you go. You heard it here. That means we got 11 horses in this race, guys. So what is going to be on their cards? We'll get to there their race day cards here for the Ohio Derby in just a second. But I do want to remind you, if you head over to WagerTalk.com right now, the opportunity to hop aboard with these guys this weekend. Sig, you can certainly grab his daily racing report each and every race day by 9 a.m. Eastern time. All you have to do is visit Sig at his at WagerTalk. WT.buzz is where you got to go. And of course, /Sig, 9 a.m. He promises Eastern time to be able to have those reports out there for you. And let us not forget Marco. He's got a full weekend of not only racing, but we've got MLB in full effect. NHL, we got a Game 7 tonight, which is going to be a lot of fun. And let us not forget the NBA. You can get every one of Marco's plays, all sports, just $69 if you visit Marco's page at WagerTalk.com. All right, moment of truth here, guys. And Marco, I'm going to come to you first, my friend. Talk to me. What does your card look like here for the Ohio Derby?
Well, I'm going to put the King Fury on top, number 4. 9-2, just really good price if we can get that on this horse. I don't think he's going to go off 9-2. I expect the odds to go down on him. But you look at the trainer, Kenny McPeak, he's having a good month. The last 30 days, he's won 26% of his starts. That means you're winning 1 out of every 4 races, and he's hitting the board at a 61% clip. Taking the blinkers off, I think, is going to be the difference. Get this horse to relax. If he races the way he did in his last start, they're going to be chasing him coming home for the win. Second place, I'm looking for number 9, Proxy. You know the love-hate relationship I have with this horse. When they made the move to the blinkers, we were all over it. We thought John Velasquez, made the right move in suggesting that, because if you remember the race where he was coming out of, that was the race where the horse seemed to lose interest in the middle of the race and lost ground and then was flying again in the stretch. And if he would have been closer, we all thought he wins that race. It seemed in theory to be a good move, but as it turned out, it wasn't. They're going back to the way the horse raced. And when he was racing without blinkers, he was one of the better horses in the country. So I like him for my second choice. Third choice, going to go with the obvious horse, Promise Keeper. This is the horse on the improve, has the rail position, can decide where he wants to go, gets the big name jock to make the trip, big name trainer, everything points to him. That's the logical choice. My fourth and final spot, I will be honest with you, I was between 2 horses. I was between the 10 horse and the 5 horse, and they're both kind of interchangeable. These are the 2 horses that are the now horses. They are improving at the right time, the late bloomers. But I got to say, that race on the undercard at Churchill Downs on Masquerade was just too good. I got to go with that one, put them on the ticket. And that's 4-9-110 for me. And I'll be mixing them up, but let's get King Fury home at a nice price for my top choice.
So just to recap, Marco, will you be wearing blinkers watching this race on Saturday? I just want to know. There's a lot of blinkers going on. I still break out in hives every time you mention that with good old Proxy. Sig, go ahead, my man. Talk to us. What do you got going on your card for the Ohio Derby?
Marco just said that Promise Keeper is a logical choice, and I'm a logical guy, and I did land Promise Keeper as my top choice here. I like the fact that he's on the improve, coming in off a win in a graded stakes race. I love the fact that Saez is making the trip from New York to ride him here at Thistledown, and I think he's definitely the horse to beat in here. The 8, Keep Me in Mind. I think he's been outclassed in his last few in the Preakness of the Kentucky Derby, but he kept on. I know Marco said he might get frustrated, in his opinion, and be less interested in this race. I think this is a horse that just has a lot of heart. I think he's very consistent here, and I think he definitely has a shot. I think the class relief he's going to get in this field is definitely a positive for him. I did use the 4 King Fury. I expect him to step forward, making a second start. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of the 10-week layoff coming up to this, but, I mean, he came off a longer layoff when Wayne to Lexington, doing it very impressively. back in April. And then I did use the 9 Proxy here. Joe Bravo aboard for Michael Stidham. I think Proxy's with the blinkers off. I think, given his past performances and the fields that he's faced, should also enjoy the class relief he's getting here. I think those horses all stand above the rest of the field here. 1, 8, 4, 9 are the horses I'm going to be using. I'll probably box them up because I think any of those 4 could win this race on Saturday.
All right, guys, you got 11 horses in this race, the Grade 3 Ohio Derby. That is going to be Saturday, race 9 at Thistledowns. And Marco and Sig, they gave you what their cards are going to look like. You might as well get all their other plays, too, by visiting over at WagerTalk.com. The opportunity for you guys to make it a very profitable weekend, not only at the track, but, of course, across all sports there. Whether it be Marco's 3-day all-access package for $69 or simply by getting Sig's daily racing reports. All yours by 9 a.m. No reason not to make it a profitable weekend here, guys. So on behalf of Marco and Sig, want to thank you guys so much for stopping by here at the Pony Pundits. Just hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. You'll get notified when we do these shows live. And, of course, we'll be back again next Friday doing it all over again. Another stakes race. Maybe. If not Friday, the following Friday. Either way, we'll have it here for you. Pony Pundits, brought to you by WagerTalk.com. Good luck, guys, at the track. Good luck with your plays. We'll talk to you again soon.
What's better than $2 Tuesday at Sports Memo? How about Freebie Friday? We can't go any lower than free, and each and every Friday we'll hand select a best bet from one of the hottest handicappers on the site and give it out for free. All you have to do is each and every Friday, head over to sportsmemo.com. The Freebie Friday will be listed on the homepage, and you'll be just a click away from a free bet.